Queen Sarit raised her clawed hand. Execute the trespasser. Her throne-room guards lunged forward, pikes gleaming under the dome lights. The tiny human child stood exposed in the chamber's center, dirt-streaked and defiant amid the polished obsidian floors. Eli Navarro dropped his backpack. It thudded soft, spilling ration bars and a flashlight. He thrust out a plush toy. A worn stuffed bear with one ear flopped over, toward the nearest attendant. The vexary female trembled behind the console, her iridescent scales dulled by fear. Palace staff had frayed since the raid. Air's gone. Raiders vanished into shadows. The child spoke. "Hey, it's okay." Mr. Fluff fixes bad days. Cyrit's mandibles parted. No fear in the human stance. No play. Just that absurd gesture. "Halt," she commanded.
Her voice echoed off vaulted walls. Guards froze mid-stride, pikes inches from the boy.
Marshal Borix stepped from the ranks, his armor crest flaring. "Majesty, this vermin bypassed our outer grids." "Blethal force alive," Cyrith snapped. "Seize him alive. Now, guards, hold Ellie forward." It didn't struggle. The attendant crept closer, hesitated, then snatched the toy. Her claws cradled it. A faint trill escaped her bends, count seeping in. Cyrith leaned from her throne, multifaceted eyes narrowing on the human. "Explain. How does a soft-skinned child breach the palace heart? Our security shreds fleets." Ellie wriggled one arm free from a guard's grip. He pointed at the floor. "Service tunnels started at the relief docks. Dr. Keel's medship docked 2 cycles back." Boric growled. "The human medic. I warned against their aid ships." "Kept quiet," Ellie continued. "Map the bends from the steam echoes. Low ones knee-high for me. Big folks like you. Stuck." He traced a route in the air with his finger. Zigzags through the chamber layout, entry grade by East Arboretum, crawl 50 pace, left at the heat exchanger. Up the waste chute, to sub-level 3. Cyrith's crest twitched, perfect recall. Her own engineers fumbled those paths under duress. Humans charted chaos like breath. "You mapped from memory," her voice sharpened. "White rasp, speak truth, or my hand falls again." Ellie met her gaze, no flinch. "Heard crying kids." Through a vent right in the archive wing. Little one wailing, big one shushing. Sounded scared. Like my sister when storms hit. Archive wing. Sealed since the raid. Raiders struck the nursery annex, snatched Kesh and Mira, her hairs. Kesh, silent protector at those cycles. Mira, the noisy spark at 5. Security swept it thrice. Empty. Boric slammed his pike butt. Lies, majestic. Human trickery. They breed like pests. Liabilities all. "Let me drag him to the cells." The attendant clutched the toy tighter. Hair scales brightened. A camined Lira without drugs. "Look." Cyrith's gaze flicked. Lira, the trembling one now, stroked the bear's fur. A purr rumbled low. "Describe the cries," Cyrith demanded. Grief clothed her core, but discipline held. "Court watch from alcoves," diplomats whispered. Control over compassion. Always. Illy squinted, replaying. Big kid whispered, "Quiet, Mira." Sharp sounds, like yours but small. 10 squeaks and thumps. Hiding spot. Block bent, maybe. East archive subchute, behind the data bolts. Her blood chilled. Exact echoes of Mira's tantrums. Kesh's hush tones. Boric advanced.
"Impossible."
"We sealed those tunnels. Scanners clear." "Scanners miss small," Ellie said. Stubborn jaw said. "Kids squeeze." I squeeze. "Fix it?" Cyrith rose. Her robes whispered over the throne dice. Marshals flanked her, but she waved them back. The boy treated peril like a puzzle. Strangers like kin. Had Bexari young learned caution first. This woman offered toys amid pikes. "Release him," she ordered. Wars dropped Ellie. He dropped his arms, scooped his pack, but stood tall. Boric's crest spiked. "Majesty, risk assessment." Silence. Cyrith descended the steps, towered over the child. Yet he didn't shrink. "You claim to reach where my forces fail. Prove it." Ellie nodded. "Lead the way." "Not alone." She signaled to guards. Vorek summoned Dr. Kill, the medic vouch, for this one. If the human falters, his blood answers. Boric bowed stiff, but his glare scorched Eli. "Stopped out," comms buzzing. Ellie grinned up at her. "Cool. Team up," absurd word. Cyrith Court murmured. Humans meddled with teams, not gyrages. They moved. Ellie aid, pack slung. Cyrith followed with guards. At Andanlira Trail, bear tucked under arm, palace corridors gleamed sterile. Cyrith's claws clicked on tiles. Ellie darted to a wall panel, pried it with a multi-towel from his pack. You, his high tunnel, yawned, dust motes swirling. Here, he said. Follow quiet. It dropped in, legs vanished into gloom. Cyrith knelt. Hellbulk barred entry. Guards too broad. Barks arrived with Dr. Halling kill. The human medic tall, calm, med-kit slung, nodded to Ellie's tunnel. Go, Cyrith said to Quill. Keep him alive. Report every echo.
Quill squeezed in.
On it, Ellie, slow breaths. Borex sealed the panel. This folly, monarch's will. Berith stared at the grate. Fine scrapes echoed within. Air hairs. Minutes stretched. Court diplomats pressed in. Compassion weakens us, one hissed. Then Quill's voice crackled from Ellie's dropped comm. Tunnel clear. Heat exchanger passed. Prying louder, Mira's speech. Cyrith's bend ceased. Mira, Ellie's voice cut in, muffled. Shh, kids. Found you, anti-Cyrith, send me. As Quill pierced. Mira, Barek Paleth. Cyrith snatched the comm. Human. Status. Got him. Is holding Mira. Raiders blocked the vent. Bars. Working my tool, hold tight. Rusto. Whispers. The Mira's trill. Soft one, toy. Ellie chuckled. Later. Fluff bear for you. A series claws dented the grate. Small axe. A toy. Rust pierced where pikes failed. Extract them, she commanded. Borek, widen that chute. Now, Bart's pried panels. Bart's orders. Hissed out, cracking. Keel emerged first, dust caked. Ellie followed, dragging a makeshift sling. Inside two small Bexari forms, Kesh, scales, scared but fierce eyes alert. Mira clung to Ellie's neck, mandibles nuzzling his shoulder. Mama, Mira squealed. Cyrith swept forward. Cradled them. Kesh buried in her chest, silent tears venting. Ellie backed up, pack reclaimed. Tolja. Solvable. Borek knelt nearby, scanner forgotten. How? We missed them.
Listened. Ellie shrugged.
Kids make noise. Cyrith turned to the boy. Hair court encircled, murmurs shifting to awe. The human child, stubborn, practical, had threaded grief's maze. You have my debt, she said. Voice steady, but warmth bloom. Stay, Balas needs fixers, Ellie beamed. Like family? Borek grunted. Quill smiled. Cyrith nodded once, trust rebuilt, one toy at a time. But as Mira clutched the bare Lita offered, a new cry echoed faint from deeper tunnels. Another child? Ellie's eyes lit. Round two? Marshal Varag drove his pike into the nursery wing's sealed door. Sparks flew. The alloy buckled but snapped back. Cyrith's mandibles clicked sharp. Erguars pulled back, panting. Scans showed life signs inside, her hairs, trapped since the raid, but the raiders' lockdown held. Borek knelt, scanner humming. Bio locks engage, majesty. Breaching risks collapse, or gas, hair cord murmured. Valid permanent, one advisor hissed. New hairs breed faster than grieve. Cyrith ignored them. Cash and Mira's trills haunted her nights. Silent Cash, noisy, Mira, gone, 3 cycles. Dr. Hailing Keel approached, human medic from the relief ship. Dust streaked his coat. Beside him trailed Eli Navarro, the boy human. Small, 8 cycles old. Stubborn eyes, Quill had vouched for him, patched raider wounds, shared rations without demand. Queen Cyrith, Killside, voice calm. Ellie hears things we miss. High frequencies, let him try the vents, Borek snarled. Humans, liabilities. One cough, and ducks flood toxin. Ellie stepped forward, pack slunk over shoulder. Tools clinked inside. Kids hide weird. I find cousins in attics. Easy. Cyrith studied him. Humans fixed what broke. Competent. Her Bexai strength crushed doors, yet failed here. This child offered listening. Marshal, she said. Escort the boy. Weapons lowered. Vorek's scales bristled. Bay obeyed. Cyrith led the way down the corridor. Wards flanked. Ellie matched her stride, unhourred. Quill followed, medkit ready. They reached the nursery wing's outer grate. Sealed tight, faint scratches echoed from within. Mira's claws hope-twisted Cyrith's chest. Ellie dropped his pack, knelt at the lowest, bent. Great bars rusted loose. Heprit won with a multi-tool. Click. Whispered through. Hey, fluff balls. Lost? Ellie hair. Got snacks. Silence. Cyrith crouched, her larger frame blocked light. Borek loomed, beak tipped down but gripped tight. Ellie code softer. Kid game? Tap if you hear. Rustle. A tiny hand. Scaled, trembling, poked through the bars. Mandibles quivered. Mira's pattern, iridescent blue. Cyrith's breath caught. She reached. The hand yanked back. Easy, Ellie said. Friend, see? It pushed the ration bar through. Sweet human not based. Giggles bubbled. Mira's trill. Borik's scanner beeped. One confirmed, but Elder's signature deeper. Moving. Moving, Ellie said. Drag the smell the scrape marks.
Is neath the great edge. Pointed faint streaks.
That way, Cyrith rose. Court watched via hololink. Demands for pikes renewed. Risk too high, Borik urged. We flood vents. End it clean. Cyrith met Ellie's gaze. The boy waited. Patient. Human compassion. Small acts, not conquest. Oi crowd the ducts. Bind them.
Ellie grinned.
Track boys. Got it, Borik growled. Majesty. Track his voice. Cyrith cut. Sensors full. Kill. Monitor vitals. Guarspried the grade wider. Ellie stripped jacket. Cap pack. Quill clipped a heartband to his wrist. Breathe steady. Jelif tight, Ellie noted. Slid in feet first. Dust puffed. His voice echoed faint.
Coming, fluff bears?
Hold tight. Cyrith pressed ear to wall. Guard sync scanners. Borik Bart coordinates. Duck forks left at junction 3. Toxin trace minimal. Court feeds buzzed. Madness.
Ellie's chatter filtered.
Hear that drip? Follow water. Kids like wet spots. Cyrith paced. Minutes stretched. Her claws scored floor. Kesh-protected siblings, silent guardian. If raiders returned. Gil murmured. Humans adapt narrow spaces. Lungs efficient. It listens across frequencies. Borik grunted. We pierce armor. They squeeze. A scrape ahead. Ellie's voice sharpened. Shh. Kid now. Big sis? Kesh. Got your sis. Mira says hi. Fine tree replied. Then low rumble. Kesh's warning click. Good, Ellie said. Stay put. Map this. Rustle. Tools weird. Scanners pink. Ellie's beacon held steady, twisting through maze. Cyrith advisor's pinkhead. Recall him. Deploy drones. Drones spook, Ellie called. Voice teeny. Kids freeze. I'm friend. Borik checked readings. Is marked the drag trail.
Royal Fabric signature. Airs pulled east, sub-level.
Hope flared east raider bald holes. 20 minutes.
Sweat beaded Cyrith's scales.
Ellie grunted. Tight squeeze. Guard scrap. Purple weave. Ryle. Confirm, Borik snapped. Scanner affirmed. Ellie backed out. Dust cake, grinning. Held a torn fabric strip. Case's tunic edge.
Purple threads glowed under light.
A sketch on wall with tool. Arrow east. Fork notes. Kids huddled. Subduct 12. Scared but tough. Mira once bare. Cyrith took the scrap. Warm from his grip. Scent of hires. Fear mask. Sibling bond. Tears vented and beaten. Borik stared. How? Our sweeps missed. Kids whisper. Ellie shrugged. You stomp. Court silenced. Aui rippled feet. Marshal, Cyrith ordered. Widen path is marked show. No pikeses. Soft entry.
Borik saluted.
Teams moved. Kill clapped Ellie's shoulder. Vital steady. Good work. Ellie BM'd. Solvable, Cyrith knelt to his level. Human eyes clear. Stubborn. You thread where we shatter. Dead mine. Ellie pocketed tool. Family helps family. Guards preached per max. Soft breeze. No alarms. Ellie led again. Follow my voice inside.
He crawled renewed. Cyrith monitored every ping.
Borik coordinated, doubt fading to precision. Deeper trails rose. Mira's squeal pierced. Soft one. Rustle whispers. Ellie chuckled. Fluff beer later. Hold tight. Cyrith's claws dented crate. Small axe. Toy promise. Map scratches. Trust pierce grief's wall. Borik barked. Clear. Panels widen. Quill went first. Met scanner live. Ellie emerged dragging sling makeshift from pack straps. Inside cash first. Scales scarred. Eyes fierce. Clung silent. Mira next. Mandibles nuzzling Ellie's neck.
Mama, Cyrith swept them close.
Cradle-tied cash buried face. Tears venting quiet. Mira thrilled joy. Court encircled. Murmurs turned awe. Ellie backed up. Ill-handed back. Told ya, Ellie said. Borik knelt. Scanner idle. How we miss. Listened, Ellie shrugged. Kids noise. Cyrith turned. Boy stood humble. The strict hero. Stay, she said. Boys warmed. Palace needs fixers. Daddy beamed. Like family? Borik grunted approval. Gil smiled. Cyrith nodded. Trust rebuilt, one whisper at a time. Mira clutched promised bear, Quill's quick carve. Then a faint cry echoed from deeper tunnels. Another voice? Ellie's eyes lit. Round two? Cyrith tensed. Scans. Flickered third signature, not hers. Stowed youngling? Boric rose. Rider stray? Ellie shoulder pack? Or lost? Let's check.
Court protested.
Cyrith silenced them. Human child proved path. Down deeper. Marshall follow his lead. They moved as one. Umaneers, Bixari might. Bond forged. Ellie whispered ahead. Hang on, new fluff. Coming. The tunnels beckoned, trust held. But as guards preed next grade, a shadow shifted far sub-level. Raider echo, or worse, Cyrith grit, Kesh tighter, Ellie vanish into dark. Her fixer led on. E check sling, pull strong. Boric sink, teams. Flank positions, Ellie's voice guided. Left fork, ear the whimper find. Despressed, not Bexari timbred, right orphan. Sadith's heart raced. Court demanded halt. She pushed forward. Ellie emerged with bundle. Tiny form, mixed scales, Raider Bexari cross. Clinging. Found her, Ellie said. He'd best. The child nuzzled him. Meter code welcome. Boric scant. No trace. Cyrith lifted the new one. Eyes met Ellie's. More? Ellie nodded. Whisper say yes. Pack deeper. Down broke outside palace. Rescue stretched. But family grew. Wars cleared path. Ellie crawled again. Cyrith followed close. Queen turned guardian. One axe bar chain. Human care mended. Shattered trust. Yet Ely wedged his shoulders through the rusted hatch. Maintenance shafts next. Tight fit, but shortest path. His voice echoed off grimy walls. Bork's armored bulk hesitated at the lip. The Marshal's squad, 6 Vexeri guards in tactical gear, shifted uneasily. Queen Cyrith cradled the new hybrid youngling against her chest. Kesh and Meter bundled secure in slings nearby.
Quill adjusted his med pack, eyes on Ellie. Rules, Ellie said, flashlight piercing the gloom.
1 3 points contact. Hands and knees, always. Oh, my light leads. No side trips. 3, whisper only. Break him, we stop. Affix Boric with a stare. No backing down. Humans fix problems. Step by step. Boric's mandibles clicked. Child commands warriors. But he ducked in. Claws scraping. The squad followed. Grunts turning to curses as scales snagged on jagged edges. Ellie moved smooth, like threading a needle back home. Dust motes danced in his beam. Fine drips echoed ahead. Water main. Or worse. Left at the junction, Ely whispered. His ears caught it first. A scrape, rhythmic. Rodent? Child-sized. He paused, pack scraping low. Here's that. Scratching. Boric synced his con. Jen near splot alternate. Cyrith. Proceed. Cyrith's voice crackled fear. She crawled, third, robes hitched, younglings quiet against her. Ellie's path shaved hours off scans. Head engineers admitted it via Hololink. Human boys' scribbled map outpaced their drones. Eli grinned in the dark. Thrust turned, a pressed on, belly flat over a greasy panel. Air thickened, stale with mold. 10 minutes in, the shaft widened to a service ledge overlooking a collapsed corridor. Rubble choked the drop palace raid fallout. 30 feet across, bottom lost in shadow. Gap, Boric hissed. No breach. Ellie scanned. Cleaning line coiled on a hook. High tensile, industrial. Broken card nearby. Wheel snapped. Frame solid alloy. Perfect. A janted the line free. Tested the snap. We build one. Guards muttered. Boric loomed. Risk assessment. Collapse probable. Retract. Ellie ignored him. Teed one end to the cart frame. Lashed it secure with cabiners from his pack. Quill's surplus med tools. Humans improvised. Always. And knotted loops for feet. Wove a secondary line for hands. Rope and latch. Cart anchors this side. Weighted down. Keel knotted. Physics checks. Distributed load. Ellie slung the coil across first. Hooked it to a far beam. Tested with his weight. Creak. Hold. Single file. 3 points. Go slow.
Boric balked. I lead.
You anchor. Ellie shot back. Heaviest. Squat fiends, light to heavy. The stubborn marshal glared but stepped onto the bridge. Inet tautened. Guard groaned. Eld, one by one, guards crossed, claws gripping loops. Cyrith went mid-pack, younglings whimpering soft. Ellie steadied her sling as she passed. Easy. Got you. She met his eyes. Queen to boy. A nod. Silent thanks. Last, Ellie scampered over, retrieved the line. Bridge dismantled in seconds. Squad exhale. Boric clapped Ellie's shoulder, gentle for Bexari's strength. Efective, procede. Deeper now, shafts narrow to crawlers only. Ellie's beam cut scrawls on walls, tiny claws. Messages? Whispers were right. More kids. Fine cries layered ahead, meter-like whines, stoic silences. Raiders stashed them here, under palace bones. Sarit's voiceover calm. Engineers confirm. Your route 2 hours ahead of projections. Approved. Full sanction. Ellie pumped a fist. Squad morale spiked. Whispers turned focused. Bexari warriors humbled by a human 10-year-old. Ease rules stuck. No slips. Boric took point now. Scanner sweeping. Thermal cluster 50 meters. Junglings viable. Ellie smelled it first ocean. Old wiring? It froze. Wait. Boric's boot crunched a plate. Click! Hidden alarm shrieked. Piercing wail. Bulkhead slab, the shaft ahead sealed with alloy crash doors. Behind, same. Red lights pulsed. Perimeter breach. Automated voice boomed. Containment protocol engage. Vorik pounded the door. Solid. Raider trap. Squad breaching charges. No, Ellie yelled. Sparks flew from Barrick's tools. Nothing. Palace under levels locked tight. Anti-right design. Air recyclers hum louder. Oxygen timed. Checked vitals. O2 dropping slow. Hours, maybe. Cyrith's face appeared on Vorik's wrist hollow. Younglings fretful behind her. She'd stayed topside with main team. Status? Contained. Barrick growled. My error? Human, ideas, guards looked to Ellie. Be a crouch. Trace seams, no panels. But his ears picked it. A hum, offset. Ventilation? He yanked a great, loose fingers row. Narrow duct, kid-sized, only way. Barrett blocked. Liability. Too small fits, Ellie snapped. Practical. Stubborn. It treated traps like puzzles. Strangers like family. Follow when I signal. Trust the rules. Cyrus Hollow nodded. Marshal is lead. Boric stepped aside. Ellie squeezed in. Tack, dragging. Darker hair. Whimpers louder. Another clutch of younglings. Scales shivering. He whispered, Hey, fluffballs. Ellie's here. I'm gone. But the duct fork. One way, Chris. Other, a grady glow exit, or either guard. His light flickered. Battery low. Scratch behind him. Squat? Or something worse? It crawled faster. Palace had trapped its rescuers. Only his improv got them out. But time ticked. Younglings waited. Boric's voice muffled through metal. Boy report. Ellie wedged deeper. Orc chose. Chris pulled. He hooked a latch from his pack makeshift probe. Touched pressure plate. Heart slammed. One wrong move. Duct shuddered. Collapsing imminent. Guys, this way now. Squad clawed in behind, trusting the kid's call. Breach boy fixed this too. Or they all stayed sealed forever. Ellie spotted the hidden latch, a service override buried under grime. Human fingers, small and sure, pried it. Click, but voices echoed from the far grate. Not child whimpers, grunt raiders. It froze. The squad piled up. No room to turn. Quiet, he breathed. Light off. Wait, growls faded.
Liert.
Ellie reactivate beam. Latch breach, version 2, follow. They poured through, Boric holding the last guard. Underlevel chamber opened. Crates stacked, younglings huddled in corners. 5 more, 2 Baxari Puri, 3 hybrids, eyes wide at the intruders. G-scale elders stood protect, silent, adapting. You came, Ellie knelt, told ya. Family now. He passed waterskins, blankets from pack, small axe. Junglings latched on, calming. Boric secured perimeter. Clear. Exfil, Sadith, holo lead. Ellie's path again. Engineers routed. But alarms blared anew. ECL doors groaned. Reinforcements? No. Structural. Collapse spreading. Ellie eyed, a side bent. Up. My way. A squad moved. Queen watched via feet hard twisting. Child's care rebuilt what power broke. Trust sealed. Yet the growls returned. Closer. Bathers flanked. Ellie's breach wouldn't hold them all. He grabbed the eldest youngling's claw. Run! Berek fired cover. Quill patched a scrape. Saidid pushed from above. Uman boy led charge. Ducked ahead. Buckled. Only improv saved them. Ellie Dobbe first. Youngling in arms. 3 points. Go! Collapse roared. They tumbled into subchamber. Alive. But sealed again. Whimpers rose. Ellie's light died. Dark growls outside. Got a plan, he whispered. Fingers found wire. A spark. Light returned. Faint. Squad stared. Boys normal. Cyrith's voice cut static. Ellie status. Trap tighter. But I see the exit. Kid-sized. You boost me. Boric grunted approval. Thrust forged in shafts. Ellie climbed. Bang great loose. Beyond palace core. Freedom. But a claw scrape below. Ride broke through. Move E yanked great. Jungling scrambled. Last 1 meter size, terrified. Clung to his leg. Ellie hoisted her. Upped into light. Squad followed. Vorek anchoring rear. Alas spot them topside. Sided waited. Arms open. Court gasp. More ayers. Safe. Ellie dusted knees. All here. Family complete. Queen knelt. Forehead to his. Ellie twisted the multi-tool screwdriver bit into the alarm speaker's casing. Sparks flew as he yanked the wire free. Sealants crashed in, blessed, ringing silence. B-Squad froze behind him in the dim service tunnel, Vorek's rifle sweeping shadows. Tapping, Ellie whispered. He cocked his head. Find.
Rhythmic.
This way. Quiet. Boric gripped his shoulder. Boy, that's Rider territory. We wait for backup. Ellie shook him off. Kids can't wait. It flicked on his headlamp, beam-cutting grime-smeared walls. The tapping quickened. Morse? No desperado scratches. Kill knelt beside him, medkit slung low. Pulse steady, Ellie. Lead on. They crept single file, boots silent on metal grating. Ellie's multi-tool hummed in his pocket, ready. Air thickened with dust and ozone. A hatch loomed ahead. Warped half ajar. Ellie wedged fingers in the seam. Muscles burned. It groaned, open. Beyond. Cargo alcove, cries stacked like a fortress. A shadow shifted inside. Kesh? Ellie called soft. No answer. Tapping stopped. Boric raised his rifle. Clear the nest. Now. Ellie slipped through first, shoulder scraping. Hey, it's me.
Ellie. From the vents.
Klaus scraped metal. A Lian figure blocked the rear. Kesh, the eldest heir, mandibles flared. HOs maybe, but eyes hard as alloy. He clutched the crate lid like a shield, barricading a smaller shape behind him. Mira, whimpering, her taps silenced. Back, Kesh hissed. Voice grabble through translator. Badges mean traps. Ellie raised empty hands. Squad held at the hatch. Boric's badge glinted, security crest, alien gold. Kesh's gaze locked on it. Not with them, Ellie said. With you. He pulled his canteen, shook it. Water slosh. Mira's whimper spiked thirst fear. Kesh tensed. Bravit, no tricks. Ellie itched closer, slow. Crates towered, hiding 3 more huddled forms. Younger hairs, silent, wide-eyed. Mira poked her head out, frills quivering. Too noisy for stealth even now. Water first. Ellie unscrewed the cap, held it out. Mira lunged, snatched it, gulped noisy. Spilled half down her chin. Kesh watched, unblinking. Ellie dug in his pack, blanket, ratty, from the relief ship. He pulled the Queen's fabric scrap from his pocket, the one Seraph pressed into his hand topside. Royal weave, scented with her pheromones. Calm, home, smell. He draped the blanket over the scrap, rubbed it in. Mimicked the scent trail he'd tracked earlier. Held it toward Mira. She sniffed. Frills relaxed. Grabbed the bundle, clutched it tight. Whimpers eased to purse. Kesh lowered the lid a fraction. Queen's mark, how, stole it fair. Ellie grinned. She trusts me.
You? Kesh's claws clicked.
Badges took us, raiders wore none. You were theirs. Boric shifted at the hatch. Marshals on her hair were extract. Kesh snarled. Honor sealed us here. Ellie stepped between. Test me, I go out first. Courier clear, you follow. Kesh hide him. Human no claws, no crest. Small, stubborn, alone. Or no, deal. Ellie turned, weighed the squad back. Boric scowled but retreated 10 paces. Kiel nodded approval. Ellie poked head into corridor. Dim strips flickered. Growls echoed the stand. Raiders patrolling. Clear shot to the junction. Empty, he called back. Your turn. Kesh hauled meat up. Blanket clutched. Younger ones tumbled after. Silent shadows. They piled into the corridor. Kesh shoving Ellie ahead like a shield. Movie, Kesh urged. Klaus on Ellie's shoulder. Gentle. Testing. They dashed junctionward. Tapping pipes guided left escape route. But a panel rattled ahead. Rather boot falls. Boric spun from cover. Contact! Laser wind. Other slumped. Squad port fire. Ellie janked Kesh down. Mira under him.
Through the side hatch!
Ellie pointed. Boost. Keel scooped the youngling. Bodek covered. Kesh scooped. Mira bolted. Ellie last. Multitool prying the hatch. They spilled into subtunnels. Alarms wailed anew. Ellie's fix undone. Up! Ellie hubbed Davent great. My size first. Kesh hesitated. Trap. Ellie dove in. Wriggled. Follow. Darkness swallow him. Faint light the head tapping resumed. Mira's claws on metal. It punched through to a chamber. Squad piled after. Bodek anchoring. Queen's voice crackled comms. Ellie report. Got him. Ellie panted. All alive. But Kesh won't budge for badges. Cyrith's breath hitched. Feet relaying her throne room tension. Court murmured. Diplomats pressing for control. Borik's risks too high. Yet the boy reached where power failed. Kesh crouch. Younglings clustered. No marshal touches us. Borik ulstered rifle. Understood here. Uman leads. Ellie nodded. Glan. Bends. To core. You. A scout. A spark his light wire jury-rigged. Bem hit Kish's eyes. Gratitude flickering under suspicion. Mira tugged the sleeve. Blanket scent calming her. She chirped. First real sound. Run soon, Eli said. Family waits. Growls neared. Kesh gripped his hand. Trust budget. Claw to palm.
Ellie led into the ducks.
Squat tight. One sleep. Gavin.
But the topping, it matched their steps now.
Benz buckled under weight. Ellie wedged multitool. Propped. Single file. 3 points contact. Cash copied taught younglings. Human normal alien improv. Kill bandaged a claw neck on Mira. Hold steel little one. She purred. Blanket clutched. Cyrith watch feet. Heart twisting. Child's water. Sent trick. Small cares pierced grief's wall. Core demanded sweep teams, blockades. She silenced them. The boy rebuilt. Corridor shook. Raiders flanked the outer hatch. Borek fired bursts. Bridge collapsing. Ellie grabbed Kesh's claw. Run, they charged. Ducked to head warped. Ellie dove. Kesh in arms. Go! Collapse road. Dust choked. They tumbled into subchamber sealed tight. Whimpers rose.
Ellie's light sputtered dead. Dark.
Grow welts outside. Plan, he whispered. Fingers found wire. Spark. Fine glow. Squad stared. Boy spark. Extraordinary. Cyrith's voice cut static. Ellie's status? Trapped. Barek seed kid-sized. Bust me. Bodek grunted. On it. Ellie climbed. Gratiluz. Beyond. Palace core light. Claw scraped below. Move! Ellie junked great. Younglings scrambled. Last Mira size clung to his leg. Ellie hoisted, dropped her into light. A squad followed. Bodek rear guard. Palace core spat them topside. Cyrith waited, arms wide. Court gasped more hairs than scans showed. Ellie dusted knees. All here. Families complete. Queen knelt, forehead to his. You brought them home. Kesh hung back, eyes on Borek's badge. Trust Halford Jet Rider's shadow lingered. Mira toddled to Cyrith, blanket extended. Ellie's Coatfield silent. Woman child, key to the lock. But growls echoed vents. Raiders breached outer hall. Borek barked orders. Perimeter. Ellie pocketed multitool. Not done yet. Kesh stepped beside him. Together, Ellie grinned. J. Family sticks. Cyrith rose, Ares clustered. Her gaze met Ellie's decision made. Trust the small axe. Raiders swarmed, axes. Borek's squad form line. Quill prepped, triage. Ellie spotted side bent. Flank 'em. My way, Kesh nodded. Klaus ready, they dove. Woman stubbornness met island steel, bond sealed. Palace trembled. Final push. Ellie tapped pipe, rhythmic like Mira's signal. Raiders turned. Borek fired. Clean sweep. Silence, airs safe. Court bowed. Cyrith lifted Ellie. Ero, juice neighbor, he said. Kesh leaned in, proved more. Stay. Ellie ruffled his frills. Deal, family grew. Trust rebuilt, one carry at a time. But distant sensors ping. Ride a ship inbound. Borek tense.
Reinforcements. Ellie-eyed stars BA viewport.
We got this. Queen nodded. Woman child led. Aliens followed. Lights dimmed. Alarms anew. Not theirs. Ellie multitool out. Fix stars now. They moved as one. Barek's claw scraped the deck plating. Rider glyphs, fresh etchings on the bulkhead, fall back to the throne vault. Ellie gripped his multitool tighter. The queen's hairs clustered behind him. Kesh shielding Mira, who whimpered under the blanket. Sereth's guards pivoted, weapons sweeping the corridor, but the retreat funneled them straight into an open junction. Motion sensors would light up like festival flares. "No!" Ellie whispered. He yanked the loose panel from the wall. Reflective insulation gleamed under emergency lights. Raiders hunted by optics, heat and shimmer tricked them best. Boric whirled. "Human, move! That's exposure." Ellie ignored him. He slapped tape from his kit across the panel's edges, stuck it to the ceiling vent grate, angled just so. Light bounced wild, mimicking the scrambling figure down a false path. Kish watched, frills twitching. Clever, like hiding in reeds. One guard triggered a sensor. Red blips flared on Boric's wrist display. "Patrol inbound! 3 hostiles!" Ellie taped another panel. "Stay low! They chase you ghosts first." Boots thundered from the access tube. Rather shadow-stretched long-armored hulks with optic lenses glowing crimson. The lead one paused, lenses whirring toward the junction shimmer. Boric shoved Ellie back. "Idiot kid! Retreat now!" But Cyrich's voice cut through the calm. "Marshal, hold!" From her remote throne link, she punched bulkhead codes. Steel groaned. Darts slammed shut 2 corridors over, herding the riders toward Ellie's decoy panels. Air whooshed as pressure equalized. The patrol lunged at the reflections, claws raking empty air. Ellie's heart hammered. Mira's blanket slipped. Her tiny claws clicked the deck, noise enough to ping. Raiders froze. Lenses swiveled. "Got you," Ellie muttered. Scooped a loose conduit cap hollow, perfect echo. Thumbed his multi-tool to pulse vibe, busted hard into the side shaft. Clang-twang rattle. It bounced like a fleeing kit. Optics bayed, the patrol bolted after it. Plows echoed away. Boric lowered his weapon a fraction. Luck, Ellie grinned at Kesh. Teamwork. The hair nodded, claws easing off Mira's shoulder. But sensors pinged again. More glyphs bloomed on the wall, fresh scrapes. Boric snarled, "They are looping back. Heirs to the Corbens. Now. Kids first. I'll decoy." Smilet frame, fastest crawler. Raiders overlooked prey that size. Cyrith crackled. Ellie, too risky. He met Kesh's eyes. "Cover me." The hair gripped his multi-tool hand. Silent pack. Boric hauled Mira up. "Marshal's orders." Ellie darted before words finished. He slithered into the underdeck crawl space, blanket tucked under arm for Mira later. Pipes hummed hot against his back. Rod, chatter, buzzed, ahead, gruff, alien, snarls, optics, scanning. Goal. Draw them off. He tapped his multi-tool rhythm, tap-tap whoosh, Mira's old signal amplified. Raiders veered his way. Conflict hit fast. A claw punched through grating inches from his boot. Ellie roll-taped a scrap panel to his heel. Kicked it loose. Shimmer trail led wrong. The raider roared, ripping plates. Ellie squeezed past, breath shallow. "Stars, they smelled like rust and plasma burns. Vents forked." He chose the noisy one drips, masked his crawl. Behind, claws shredded metal. "Gaining kills," voice hissed in his earpiece. Human relief band. Ellie vitals spiking. Eject adrenaline patch. "Save it," Ellie grunted. Stubborn. Solvable. Popped the junction grate, dropped into a service bay. Raiders crashed in 2,000 seconds behind. Ellie hurled his noisemaker multi-tool reed bolt. Bang, rattle, screech. It skittered toward the outer hull breach.
2 riders chased. The third lingered, lenses sweeping slow.
Ellie froze behind the coolant tank. Small acts. He wedged a loose wire into the tank valve. Twist is erupted. Steam cloud, optic killer. The raider lunged blind. Ellie dodged, grabbed its ankle scanner, yanked the cord free. Sparks flew. Ride howled, optics fritzing. Boric's squad burst in, then plasma balls cracked. Raider slumped. Ellie panted, clutching the scanner trophy. One down, Boric cuffed his shoulder, almost gentle. Reckless Keith. Effective cash emerged from Vance, Mira on his back. You sang her song. They followed. Ellie ruffled Mira's frills. She code, blanket clutched, home stretch. But alarms wailed anew. Pole sensor screamed. Raider ship docking. Reinforcements swarm. Cyrith appeared at the bay doors, ears in tow. Hair crown gleamed under strobes. Ellie, G knelt, forehead nearly touching his. You baited the storm. I shrugged. Fixed the leak. Goes black. Whose neighbor stuff? Air claws framed his face. Court watched. Diplomats silent. Guards rigid. Boric scanned the down radar. Their queen's mark. This ends our cell. Cash leaned in. Stay in front, Ellie. We guard. Mira toddle forward. Plop the blanket over Ellie's shoulders. Ellie's laughter rippled. Alien chuckles. Human grin. Trust sealed in tatters and tape. Quill jogged up. Medkit slung. Patch time, Aero. Can fix empires if you drop. Ellie waved him off. Later.
Eyes on the viewport. Raider's ship loomed, clamps biting hull.
Asarith rose. Natural. Breach protocols. Ellie, your lead? He nodded. Multi-tool loud.
Rig the airlock, funnel 'em like before.
Borek barked, squats into motion. Bulkheads locked under Sareth's command. Ellie taped panels along the docking tube. Shimmer maze. Cash distributed noisemakers from Ellie's kit. Mira banged one rhythmic practicing. Raiders poured in. Optics worked at decoys. Patrols split chasing ghosts. Ellie crouched at the funnel's throat. Smallest decoy again. He tapped pipe, tap, tap, whoosh. Heart turned. Borek's line held. Plasma sank. Raiders funnel tight-trapped. One broke through. Towered over Ellie. Claw raised. Cash pounced. Klaus wrecked armor. Mine. Ellie rolled. Multi-tool spark in its underbelly. Systems fried. Rider dropped. Cyrith fired the killing bolt. Precise. Silence fell. Wreckage smoked. Air's safe again. Cord bowed low. Whispers rose. The small one turns tides. Borek knelt to Ellie. Batch glinted. Offer unspoken. Kill bandage a claw graze. Told you. Humans improvise. Cyrith lifted Ellie high. Hero of the vents. Ha stubborn, he said. Ruffled Cash's frails. Mira hugged his leg. Family circled. Trust, rebuild tape, taps, and tiny hands. But outer sensors pinged. Rider Queen's voice boomed through breached comms. Surrender the whelps, or I glass your palace. Borek tensed. Cyrith's eyes met Ellie's. He pocketed the radar scanner. Hack time. My way. Kosh grinned. Klaus ready. They moved as one into the heart of the storm. Ellie led. Small axe called the shots now. Boots echoed. Docking clamps groaned under sabotage. Raider ship listed. Booter fighters launched. Swarms inbound. Quill Trigetty, Ellie called. Always, Medic nodded. Cyrith locked final bulkheads. For the airs. Borek prime charges. Breach in treat. Ellie tape the last panel. Shimmered perfect. Decoy squam. God, they do. Human grit met alien steel. One beat at a time. Fighters buzzed hell. Laser scored plating. Ellie's multitool interfaced the scanner. Rider codes spilled. Got the freck. Cash relayed. What it jammed it. Fighters veered blind. Mira banged her noisemaker. Tap tap whoosh. Fighters scattered, chasing echoes. Cyrith watched, drowned steady. Impossible, child. Practical, Ellie corrected. Raider Queen's vessel cracked. Silence, stars clear. Court erupted. Cheers, bows. Cyrith knelt again. Stay. Family, Ellie nodded. Deal. Kesh punched his arm. Mira blanketed all. Borek saluted. Quill grinned. Trust won. Small cares conquered. But deep scanners pinged. Final pod inbound. Rider Queen herself. Ellie multitool hummed. Round two. They stood ready. Family whole. Explosions rattled the bulkhead. Cyrith gripped her pulse rifle tighter. The radar pod slammed into the docking junction ahead, clamps biting metal with a screech. Contact! Borek barked from her left. His squad fanned out, weapons hot. Ellie crouched beside her, multitool glowing as he scanned the seals. Pods binting atmosphere, 10 seconds to breach. Cyrith's mandibles clicked. Her hairs huddled behind Cash, silent and coiled, Mira clutching a makeshift noisemaker from scavenged bents. The human child had turned rescues into partnership. Now raiders came for payback. Rider Queen herself. Scanners confirmed. She glanced at Borek. The marshal's eyes narrowed on Ellie. Risk incarnate, that boy. But word bound them. Marshal, Cyrith commanded. Her voice cut through the alarms. The junction meets us here. Uman's plan leads. Borek stiffened. His crest flared. Majesty. She locked eyes. Steel met steel. He nodded once, sharp. Ellie didn't pause. Kesh, Mira jobs. Kesh, you ham their comms on my signal. Mira, noise on 3. Draw fire left. Borek, breach right with me. Cyrith, Quill, cover center. Ish's claws flexed. The eldest hair rose, no longer Kago. Ready. Mira piped up, gripping her device. Tap whoosh loud. Dr. Kill unpacked his kit beside Cyrith, calm as void. Pulse patches prepped, the pod hissed. Seals cracked. Raiders pour out armored hulks, blades gleaming. Ellie slapped his scanner. Signal! Kesh lunged to a panel, claws ripping wires. Static flooded radar channels. Mira hammered air noisemaker. Tap tap whoosh, echoes bounced, fake signatures blooming on scans. Raiders beard left, lasers chewing bulkhead. Boret charged right, squad blasting. 2 dropped. Go, Ellie yelled. Cyrus surged center with Quill. A rifle butt, dropping a rider mid-leap. Ely darted ahead, small frame weaving through fire. He slapped charges on the pod's core. Too close. A rider broke through, blade arcing for the boy. Cyrus dove. She shoved Ellie aside. The blade grazed her flank, slicing scales. Pine flat, hot, shallow. She fired point blank. Rider crumpled, rolled up firing his stun pistol. Queen! She staggered, blood seeping. Buttock's squad mobbed the rest. Podcar gwind! Overloading! Clear! Vortic roared. Explosions sealed the junction. Kesh dragged Mira back, air safe. But Sereth's wound pulsed. He pressed a gauntlet to it, mandibles grinding. Quill knelt first. Let me, Ellie. A voice rasped. The child approached, eyes wide, but steady. He waved Quill off. My team, my fix. Ellie pulled the medic's kit, hands quick. Sit.
She lowered to one knee. Pain throbbed, but she held still.
But would see this later. Queen kneeling to a human whelp. Borek watched, crest low. Kesh and Mira edged closer, eyes on Ellie's hands. The boy worked fast. Cleaned the gash with antiseptic spray. Sting made her hiss. Packed hell that cooled instant. Tapeta flicks bandage over, sealing tight. Done. Ellie met her gaze. No fear. Stubborn care. But promise. Cyrith tilted her head. What? Stop using fear as policy.
It teared off the tape.
Firm. Your court scared. Makes him blind. Small cares work better. Like this. Her breath caught. The wound knit already. Human tech humming. But his words cut deeper. Ayers watched. Boric shifted. Even Quill paused. She placed a claw on his shoulder. Gentle. Bow given. Ellie Navarro. Fear ends. Trust builds. He grinned. Small. Fierce. Good. No hairs home.
Alarms blagrit anew.
Deep scanners pinging, radar reinforcements, main ship closing. Barek primed his rifle. They adapt.
Ellie's multi-tool beeped.
We do too. Keshchkot vents. Mida, noise, relay. Let's turn their swarm against them. Tish nodded, vanishing into ducts. Mida clutched her device, eyes bright. Cyrith rose, wound a dull ache. She hefted her rifle. Ellie's plan again. She followed. They hit the next junction running. Raiders swarmed corridors, drones buzzing ahead. Borek's squad laid suppressing firebolt scorching walls. Ellie hacked the service panel. Drones on our frag now redirect. Kish's voice crackled from Ben's. 3 tangos ahead, clear left. Mira tapped, rhythm, who's tap. Droners peeled off, chasing ghosts. Cyrith covered Ellie's back. A drone slipped through. Stinger poised. She crushed it underfoot. Shard bit her boot. Clear, Ellie said. Panel lit green. Drones reversed, slamming into riders. Boret grunted approval. Effective. 2 corridors down. Riders pin them. Blaster fire chewed cover. Cyrith's squad returned fire, but numbers pressed. Ellie scanned. Weak point, overhead bends. Kesh, set. Clouds scraped above. Raiders screamed as Cash dropped vents on them, improvised crushers. Mira whooped, banging cover. Raiders flinched. Quill patched the squad members' arm mid-fight. Push! They broke through. Airs moved like team now, not rescues. Final chamber loomed. Rider Queen's banner hung. Twisted spines. Guards flanked a throne pod, Queen snarling atop. You trespass, she hissed, voice amplified. Blades extended from her throne. Cyrith stepped forward. Return my blood, or die. Ellie slipped beside her. Talk first. A scanner throne reeked. Hamid. Kish nodded, claws flying on a console. Rider Queen laughed. Puppets kneel.
Mira stomped forward.
Tap whoosh. Throne alarms wailed. Falls breach. Guards spun. Borek's squad struck. Lasers flashed. 2 down. Ellie darted low. Multi-tool to throne base. Car exposed. Rider Queen lunged. Aerith intercepted. Rifle butt cracking her jaw. They grappled. Queen stronger. Claws raking. Ellie slapped the core. Overload hummed. Out! He yelled. Cyrith shoved the Queen into her own blast. Throne erupted. Raider Queen vaporized. Silence fell. Guards surrendered. Tress flat. Hauled Mira up. Borek secured prisoners. Clean sweep. Quill checked Cyrith's bandage. Holding. She looked to Ellie. The boy wiped sweat, grinning at hairs. Kesh punches am light. Mira hugged his leg. Court feeds bast. Leave now. Hair people watched. Sci-Fi knelt again. Not for Boone. For him, family claims you, Ellie. All humans welcome. Build it right. No fear. Borek saluted. Orders majesty. Escort home. Then rebuild. Ship shattered free. Stars wheeled. Airs laughed. Mira's noise now song. But Ellie's scanner pinged soft. Deeper signal. Lost pod, another hair. Round 3, Cash asked. Ellie pocketed tool. Family first. Always. Cyrith rose. They moved as one. Deeper scanners locked. A faint beacon buried in rider wreckage. Another whelp? Erkor would demand caution. Ellie met her eyes. My plan?
She nodded.
Trust sealed. Small cares let now. They dove into vents. Boots and claws echoed. Unbreakable. Rider debris field loomed on view screens. Pods drifted, silent. Ellie's scanner triangulated. There pod 9. Life signs weak. Voret piloted closer. Drop likely. Cash peered out. Ice milkin. Mida bounced. Safe. Cyrith gripped rails. Ellie's bandage itched faint. Reminder. Duck clamps engaged. Airlock cycled. Dark corridor beyond. Traps humming. Ellie lit. Simple. Kesh, scouts, Mira noise, Burrick cover. Quill med. Cyrith me. She fell in step. Close quarters. Raiders could lurk. Shadows shifted. Tripwire gleamed. Ellie froze it with cryospray from Quill's kit. Neutralized. Kesh hissed ahead. Trap cluster. Ellie rigged noisemaker chain Mira's design. Tap whoosh chain reaction. Traps. Triggered. Empty. They pressed. Pot chamber. Small form huddled. Third air. Scales dull but breathing. Gesh scoop sibling gentle. Safe. Mira blanketed them. Family pile. Borix gone clear. Back aboard. Quill triaged. Ellie handed tools. Cyrith watched. God hailed. Victory chance. Butter Marshall pulled her aside. Humans change us. Brisk, she touched bandage. They savas. Follow. Ellie approached. Hairs. Jobs tomorrow. Build Queen Cyrith strode through the towering archway of the Grand Corridor, claws clicking on polished stone. Eli Navarro matched her pace, small hand gripping Mira's toy shuttle. Kesh carried the youngest heir on one shoulder. Mira bounced at Eli's side, and the third sibling clutched Kesh's tail. Gasps rippled through the assembled nobles. Eyes locked on the human boy. Advisor Lirak surged forward, robes swirling. Majesty! The raiders are crushed. Heirs safe now. Excise this liability. Humans breed chaos. The court murmured agreement. Boric stood rigid at the day's edge, gaze flicking to Ellie. Keel lingered behind, med kit slung low. Cyrith halted center stage. He placed a protective claw on Ellie's shoulder. No, this child pierced the debris where our fleets failed. He returns what was lost. Lirak's frills flared. Sentiment blinds you. When whelps tricks don't write doctrine. Banish him, now. Ellie stepped forward, undaunted. He knelt before Mira and pressed the toy shuttle into her eager claws. Yours. Fix it mid-rescue. Not charged.
Meter squealed.
Scales brightening. She hugged it tight, then burrowed into Ellie's legs. Ellie, friend! Fly again? The court fell silent. Nobles leaned in, frills twitching at the heir's easy trust. Cyrith watched Ellie rise, dust from the vents still on his jumpsuit. His eyes met hers, stubborn, practical. No boast. Whose fact? Your pardon, Majesty, Ellie said, voice steady. Mira likes building. Kesher scouts smart. All kids need space. Funda shared nursery. Palace vents work fine. Add human tools, alien claws. Mix species, no more lost well. Whispers exploded. Lidak sputter. Oh, Mandam's treasury? For a mongrel play den? Serith silenced them with a raised claw. Ellie's words echoed her own ache. The grief of empty cradles, now filled. Small axe. A toy returned, a plan shared. Power had righted and failed. This boy's care bridged bends and hearts. Approved, she declared. Treasury allocates. Build it, L species welcome. Mira tugged Ellie's sleeve. Jobs now? Build! Kesh nodded silent approval, cradling the sibling close. Varric cleared his throat, stepping to the dice.
All eyes turned. The marshal's voice boomed, scanners still clipped to his belt.
I confirm. Uman Ellie Navarro led extraction. Triangulated pods, neutralized traps with cryo and noisemakers. Ace extracted intact, no casualties.
Lirak whirled. Marshal, you vouch for this, Softskin? Barak's gaze hardened on Ellie. Risk assessment shifted. Old doctrine, isolate threats. New, integrate assets. Humans excel at improvisation, bends, empathy. We provide steel and scans. Together, unbreakable. The court steered. A noble hissed approval. Cyrich's chest wormed. Beric Erine Forsey, bend to trust. Doctor amended. Cyrith said. Marshal Varek implements. Ellie grinned at Varek. Simple plan. Varek dipped his head. Rare difference.
Your plan worked, whelp. Quill approached, handing Eli a fresh bandage roll.
Good work, kid. Itch gone? Ellie nodded, wrapping his own arm.
Ja.
Thanks, Doc. Cyrith faced the throng. Silence fell. They expected perch. The human shipped off, forgotten. Instead, she drew Eli forward. East child brave raider hulks. Return my blood. Emin's what rage tore. Head voice ran clear. Eli Navarro, I name you protected ward of the crown. Family under my claw. Quarters in the royal wing. No exile. No era seguro. Gasps peaked. Lirak recoiled. Family.
Auman.
Family, Cyrith repeated. She touched the faint scar on her arm. Ellie's field stitch from the raid. Estitia's first. Ellie blinked up at her, then hugged her leg. Mira peeled on, Ketch joined with the siblings. A wriggling heap of scales and soft skin. The court erupted. Some cheers, some mutters. Burek signaled guards. Secure the nursery site. Human specs incoming. Cyrith lifted Mira onto her heap, Ellie's hand still in hers. Quill bowed. Relief crews ready, Majesty. If palace opens, it opens. Cyrith swept her gaze wide. Human aid enters. Medics, builders, children, rebuild together. Nobles parted as she led the group out. Ellie waved the toy shuttle. Nursery first. Then bend races. Kesh hissed laughter. You lose a man. Mira whooped. Ellie wins. Cyrus frills relaxed fully for the first time in cycles. Trust rebuilt, not by decrees, but a boy's stubborn care. Yet whispers lingered behind. Lirak's eyes burned. One advisor slipped away, come in claw. In the royal wing, Eli unpacked his kit. Quill scanned the bends here. Nursery needs maps. Kill nodded. Cyrith settled the airs. Kesh distributed blankets. Mira thumbed the shuttle overhead. Barak entered, blueprint slab under arm. Site prepped, your doctrine, Majesty? She nodded. Ellie's first. The boy sketched on a scrap pad, human lines, alien curves. Here, playthones, claw-friendly, woman swings. Barak studied it, efficient, risks minimal. Hours blurred. Builders arrived, alien crews with human relief trucks docking outside. Kill coordinated triage for raid orphans. Ellie darted between, handing tools. Calming cries. Cyrith watched from the nursery frame. A young human girl tugged Mira's tail. Mira giggled, shared the shuttle. Kesh taught claw grip to soft hands. Lirak's voice echoed from the hall. This folly invites spies. She ignored him. Ellie approached, dirt-streaked. Queen? Etris needs story. Mira's asleep. Cyrith scooped the drowsy sibling. You tell it. Ellie sat cross-legged. Once riders took stars, but friends dove bends. Cryo freeze. Boom traps empty. Family home. The child cowed, eyes heavy. Cyrith gouged beside. Truth, not tale. Ellie shrugged. Same thing. Borek posted at the door. Perimeter secure. Uman scans integrated. Good. She rose. Ward Ellie. Full access. Downlight filtered through vents. Nursery walls rose. Woman laughter mixed with alien hisses. Yet in shadows, Lirak met a cloaked figure. The queen falters. Humans infiltrate. Strike soon. Ellie yawned, toy in hand. Tomorrow. Bigger builds. Cyrith smiled. Small cares held, but eyes watched. Ellie bolted upright in his new bunk. Alarms blaring. Red lights pulsed. Quill! Bends! Shouts echoed. Raiders? No. Intruders in the palace. Cyrith's roar cut through. Protect the wards! Ellie grabbed his scanner. Game on.